If you've ever found yourself curled up on the couch, wrapped up in a blanket, clutching tissues and a mug of tea, you've probably wondered, how long is this flu going to last? It's a fair question, and the answer, like so many things in medicine's, well, it depends. But let's start at the beginning. When people talk about the flu, they mean influenza, a group of viruses that roll around the world each year, knocking millions of us off our feet. Maybe it starts with a shiver or a sore throat, a sudden wave of tiredness, or that unmistakable ache in your bones. For most, the next step is the classic trilogy: fever, cough, and fatigue. But here's the thing: the experience of having the flu is surprisingly predictable for most otherwise healthy people. Let's break down what happens, day by day. After you're exposed to the virus, say, someone at work sneezed in your direction, it takes about 1 to 4 days for symptoms to show up. This period is called the incubation period. You don't feel sick yet, but the virus is busy multiplying in your body. Most people find that symptoms show up suddenly, like someone flipped a switch. 1 minute you're fine. The next, you're shaking with chills and reaching for the thermometer. This is usually day 1, the acute phase. This is also when you're at your most contagious, which means if you're hoping for sympathy visits, you might want to warn your friends and family. So, how long does this part last? Typically, the worst of the symptoms, the fever, chills, sore throat, runny nose, sore muscles, fatigue, and cough, stick around for about 3 to 4 days. This is when you feel the most miserable, and you're likely to be confined to your bed or the sofa. But the story doesn't end there. After those first few intense days, the fever usually subsides, and the aches diminish. Around days 5 to 7, most people notice they're on the mend. They can stand up without getting dizzy, the urge to sleep all day ebbs, and maybe you can watch a movie without nodding off halfway through. However, even though the major symptoms are gone, you might not feel like yourself quite yet. The cough and fatigue, for example, have a habit of hanging around. That's because your body is still working to repair the lining of your nose, throat, and airways, which the virus battered on its way out. For most people, the flu runs its full course in about 7 to 10 days. By day 7, some folks are back at work or school, while others may need an extra couple of days to fully recover their energy. But there are exceptions. Sometimes, a nagging cough and tiredness can last 2 weeks or longer, even after the fever and muscle aches have faded. In fact, about 10% of people with the flu will still have a persistent cough or feel more fatigued 2 weeks after their first symptoms showed up. Of course, the exact length of illness can vary from person to person. If you're young and otherwise healthy, you'll probably bounce back faster. If you have chronic health conditions like asthma, diabetes, or heart disease, or if you're older, your body might take a little longer to recover. Smoking, too, can extend the duration and severity of symptoms. And what about medical treatment? Antiviral medications like oseltamivir, better known as Tamiflu, can shave about a day off your illness if taken within the first 48 hours after symptoms appear. They're especially helpful for people at risk of complications, but for most healthy adults, the flu just has to run its course. It's also important to remember what the flu isn't. That day or two of sniffles and sneezing you get every autumn, probably just a cold. The flu is usually much more intense and hits much faster. And unlike food poisoning or stomach flu, classic influenza almost never causes vomiting or diarrhea in adults. So, to answer the question, how long does the flu last? For most people, you can expect to feel significantly better after about a week, with lingering tiredness or a cough sometimes trailing behind for another week or 2. It's not the fastest journey back to health, but you can take comfort in knowing that your immune system is working overtime to set things right. Until then, rest, hydrate, take it easy, and remember that this too shall pass, even if in the moment it feels like it's lasting forever.